The uprising in Montenegro, Montenegrin, Ustanak Ukranoje Gori, commonly known as the July 13 Uprising, Montenegrin, Trinestojilski Ustanak, was a general and popular uprising against Italian occupation forces in Montenegro, Axis-occupied Yugoslavia. Initiated by the Communist Party of Yugoslavia on July 13, 1941, it was suppressed within 6 weeks, but continued at a much lower intensity until December 1941. The insurgents were led by a combination of communists and former Royal Yugoslav Army officers from Montenegro. Some of the officers had recently been released from prisoner of war camps following their capture during the invasion of Yugoslavia. The communists managed the organization and provided political commissars, while the insurgent military forces were led by former officers. The entire nation rejected the privileged position offered by its occupiers, rejected the capitulation in order to fight for Yugoslavia. Together with Russia, the nationalist insurgents perceived the Soviet Union as Russia at the beginning of the uprising. Within 3 weeks of the start of the uprising, the insurgents managed to capture almost all the territory of Montenegro. The former Royal Yugoslav Army officers and communists were in dispute over the insurgents' strategy. The nationalists wanted to protect the mountain villages if they were attacked. The communists disagreed and organized a frontal struggle against Italian forces in which the rebel forces were defeated. A split occurred between the insurgents because of their defeats, which were inflicted by the Italians, and because some of the insurgents realized that the uprising was led by the communists. After the major defeat of December 1, 1941 during the unsuccessful attack of the communist forces on the Italian garrison in Pljevlja, many soldiers deserted partisan forces and joined the Chetniks. Following this defeat, the communists terrorized the people they perceived as their enemies, which antagonized many in Montenegro. The defeat of the communist forces in Pljevlja, combined with the policy of terror they pursued, were the main reasons for the expansion of the conflict between the communist and nationalist insurgents in Montenegro following the uprising. In the second quarter of 1942, a joint Italian Chetnik offensive resulted in the withdrawal of the remaining partisan forces from Montenegro.